entamer cette cérémonie avec une très belle tradition de ces Commencement Day de l'ESSEC, qui accueille régulièrement un ou une des alumni de l'ESSEC, en l'occurrence de l'ESSEC Executive Education pour ce qui vous concerne. C'est une figure engagée du monde maritime qui est avec vous cet après-midi. Elle a été décorée la semaine passée de l'ordre du mérite maritime. Je vous demande s'il vous plaît d'applaudir comme il se doit Amal Louis.
Wow. Thank you so much. Grazie mille, Mr. Vincenzo. Bonjour à tous. Hello, everyone. And what a thrill is to be here with you, and especially in such an iconic place, the Philharmonie de Paris. Space where brilliance meets emotions, and where today that energy will rise thanks to the amazing musicians. And yes, the ESSEC spirit is here too, alive and kicking. I just hope my words today rise to the level of this stage. Now, I know that you are expecting, of course, a classic graduation speech with a few life lessons and maybe a quote from Mandela. But don't worry, I'm not here to talk about changing the world or finding your purpose. I'm just here to explain how I accidentally ended up knowing way too much about cargo ships, green fuel, direct reduced iron, carbon capture, and port governance and supply chain. I know it sounds like something you'd hear in TED Talk, titled How I Fell in Love with Shipping Industry. But no, just curious mind and few open doors. But don't worry, I won't take you through my whole shipping saga just yet. First, I owe some thank yous. Let me begin with few words of gratitude to Mr. Vincenzo, our dean. Thank you for your leadership. To professors, thank you for your knowledge, your patience, or your relentless questions. And to the staff, thank you for making this massive engine run behind the scene. You are the real logistics expert here. And to my classmates, some of them are here, Charles, Andrea, Eric, Ronnie, Marie. Growing alongside you has been one of the greatest parts of this journey. Now, if I had to tell you how this journey started for me, I wouldn't begin with a title or a company or a plan. I'd begin with a man, my grandfather. He was quite humble man, but with him I always felt powerful. He used to tell me, you're strong, you're smart, you can do whatever you want, you just have to believe it before others do. He said it with so much simplicity that I believed him. He didn't just empower me, he empowered all the women of the family. That confidence, planted early, became an encore. Years later, I'm originally from Morocco. I arrived in France, full of dreams, but with no clear roadmap, no network, no guarantees, just the desire to work, to grow, to belong. And that's when I met someone who changed everything for me. His name is Belay Kassa. He was the director of a shipping agency, and he gave me my very first chance. He didn't ask me for a perfection. He offered me just an opportunity. And before I left, he said something I've never forgotten. One day, someone will need a hand. When that happens, do for them what I did for you. And I've tried to do that. Because in the end, life is made of encounters, and sometimes one open door can change an entire path. Another door opened for me a few years later, and that door had a name, Marseille Shipping Company. That house didn't just give me a job, it gave me a new lens on this world. I think of Marseille as the place where everything truly began. It's a family shipping company, was created in 1951, small global carrier, where I understood that maritime wasn't just a sector, it was a culture, a way of thinking, a way of carrying yourself. At Marseille, I learned to navigate the sea and life with discipline, with loyalty, and with heart. That journey was shaped by a family called Les Vidiles. Raymond was a mentor in the deepest sense of the word. He had a way of looking at you that made you feel both challenged and capable. Bernard Vidil, with whom I worked closely, was a model of fair, elegant leadership. He paid attention to the details. He valued loyalty, and most of all, he trusted me. And that trust has carried me through more than one storm. And today, Guillaume Vidil, who is the son, continues that legacy with the strength and clarity. It's a rare thing to see a family business that evolves with the time without losing its soul. Being part of that house made me proud, of course, to serve vision, a team, and a way of being in this world. Now, let me tell you a story, no drama, no big lesson, just a moment that stayed with me. One day, Mr. Vidil called me into his office and said, I want you to take over the management of short sea lines. And I just looked at him, a bit surprised, and said, but I've never done a budget in my life. He nodded, calm as ever, and he said, that's okay, you learn. That was it. That simple. A few weeks later, I was presenting my first budget to the executive team. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine, built with my team. That moment taught me that sometimes belief comes before experience, and that's okay. But after years of working, growing, pushing, I still felt like something was missing. No statues, no recognition. I was looking for transformation, something to stretch me, question me, wake up new parts of myself. That's when I came to ESSEC. And I didn't come here just for a diploma. I came here to shift my perspective, my tools, my sense of direction. And ESSEC delivered. It wasn't easy, balancing work, studies, and life. Life is not a gentle equation. Sometimes I wonder if ESSEC stood for extremely sleepless student, endlessly caffeinated. I had to make that joke. I'm sorry, Mr. Vincenzo. There were nights of doubts, days I fell behind, times I felt like I had to work twice as hard just to keep up. But step by step, conversation by conversation, something changed. I discovered a version of myself I hadn't met before, a leader who leads not just with path, but with presence, not just with ambition, but with empathy, not just with answers, but with better questions. ESSEC gave me a framework, yes, but more than that. It gave me confidence, a global mindset, and most of all, a new community. And now, I work for the Port of Marseille, FOS, a company where I no longer just observe, but help shape the change. It's not a job, it's a mission I'm proud of, connecting trade, industry, and sustainability to the world. Marseille FOS, it's not just a port, it's a strategic getaway for the continent where ships meet environmental responsibility and where the decision made today will shape the resilience of tomorrow. It's a crossroads. Being part of that effort means everything to me, because at its core, it's about serving a vision that's bigger than myself, about building bridges such as corridors between local economy and global trades. But wait a minute. Today is not about me. Enough about my experience. Today is about you, the leaders of the future. Because no matter your sector, your role, or your title, you will be asked to shape change. Not in 10 years, not one day, but very soon. Maybe even tomorrow, probably before you figure out how to use Excel properly. Some of you will lead teams, some will launch ventures, others will join missions already in motion, but all of us will face the same thing: complexity, urgency, and uncertainty. And in those moments, you need each other, not just as classmates, but as co-founders, partners, allies, and maybe future emergency contacts. You run into each other in 5, 10, across borders, across sectors, probably at an airport or at a conference pretending to know what blockchain integrated logistics means. The world is small, and the most important doors, they're the ones you open for each other. So here's what I've learned and what I hope you remember. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You just need 3 things: a solid foundation, whatever that means to you, family, friend, music, sports, or your favorite overpriced coffee. The courage to take one more step forward, even when you are unsure, and the humility to know the journey never ends. We're all still figuring it out. So go ahead, be bold, be kind. Seriously, be kind. That one ages well. Be curious. Build the future you want to live in. Lead in the way that makes others feel seen. And love what you do, because passion is the most strategic asset of all. And if today feels overwhelming, just remember this. We survived group projects and MCTs. You can survive anything. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2025. Bravo, everyone.
Merci. Le message du cœur de Amal Louis. Merci beaucoup, Amal. Merci d'être là avec nous et avec vous cet après-midi pour ce Commencement Day.